Hi everybody, how you doing? How is everyone? Hi. Hang on, let me just get myself arranged. I am recording. Hi Bazza, hi Martin. Woo! Wow, what a day. Guy's back from South Africa. Hi Richie. Yep, it's only Tuesday. Yeah. Only Tuesday make me feel so blue. Only Tuesday can come between me and you. Only Tuesday. I fucking hate Tuesday. The worst day of the week. Well, it's not exactly the worst day of the week because we've got this show. Hi, Boski. I know. Only Tuesday. Ha ha! Wednesday is the worst day of the week, yeah. I think Wednesday's Wednesdays for me is a good day because I don't do anything on a Wednesday. When I say I don't do anything, I don't do any streaming on a Wednesday. I usually have a student in on a Wednesday. But if I can, I try and block at least one day out a week where I don't work. But being self-employed, you're always doing something. Like I don't have weekends. I don't have days off. But I do try to, on a Wednesday, I do try to do nothing. But that rarely ever actually happens. So, hi Turbo Terrier. We don't have bank holiday Mondays. I don't have a working from a certain time or till a certain time. I'm just always working. But I like my job, so it doesn't matter. I also don't get paid minimum wage. If you put all of the hours that I work and tallied it up, I would be getting a lot less than minimum wage. What a dickhead. I know, victim of my own success. There you go. Work smarter, not harder. Yeah, but welcoming everybody. So, guys back from South Africa. My new studio desk is arriving tomorrow. Is DJing on Twitch really work? Sounds more like fun. It is my work, but it is a lot of fun. Yeah. But it takes a long time to go from, having no viewers or just one or two viewers to getting a following. I think it took me over a year to kind of get more than 30 people watching. And that was with having an audience previous as well. But yeah. Do me and Guy have different studios? Absolutely. Yeah. We work very differently as well, me and Guy. We are very different. And the only way that we're really similar is we both use FL. I use Ableton as well. Guy doesn't use Ableton, but I use Ableton and FL Studio. We use some of the same plugins. We use them in different ways, though, I think. But yeah, we definitely have different studios. Ooh. Thought so after watching his Patreon yesterday. Are you on his Patreon? Yay! You'll be learning so many cool things on that. What's this Patreon thing here? That's not it. Guyver. Yes, if anyone wants any music production tutoring, go and check out Guy's Patreon. He's really good. Yeah, honestly, you're learning all the stuff that he's taught me over the years. But you're getting a more polished version of what I've had. So like me and Guy have been together for 11 years and he's taught me so much about music production, but he learned how to teach through teaching me. So, and now I teach it as well. Hi, Jamie. Are your studios soundproof? Mine is. Guy's isn't. Mine's in the basement and it's a floating room. So I have 4 layers of soundproofing. So it was tanked. Then there's Celotex. Then there is a cage, like an aluminium cage, and an inch gap, air gap, and then acoustic plasterboard, and then tiles over the top. So yeah, welcome in everybody. It is hard to have a sound. Guy definitely has a sound, yeah. That's kind of the ultimate though, really, isn't it? Is to get your own sound. But in order to do that, you have to commit to it. So, which I think that sound is like the same as personality, isn't it? Maybe. Your sound isn't awful, Boski. It's lovely. Boski's the first one on the list today. So that's a good segue in, isn't it? Is it Sedgway or Segway? Segway. I've been doing so much music since I'm still in between jobs. I'm still trying to find my sound, but it's difficult when I'm hunting for professional life work to support the sound search. Yeah, well, maybe that's the point, though. Maybe the point is not to search for it. Can't copy someone else's art and claim it as yours. Sound is art for the ears. Can't copy someone else's art and claim it as yours. Everyone's inspired by other people, though, aren't they? Nothing's truly original. So I think I understand what you mean. If you mean like physically, do you mean like absolutely copy? So if I got someone's track, downloaded it, and then changed the file name to Amber D, Rhythm is a Dancer, when really it wasn't my track. If you mean like that, then obviously, yeah. But if you mean in terms of like copy someone's sound, you can be inspired by someone's sound, can't you? You can be inspired by it. Paul Maddox is a good example. All tracks were different from trance to groovy, but his style shone through. Yeah, you could always tell when it was a Maddox engineered track or something. Yeah, you can have reference tracks to gain inspiration from. Yeah, like everyone needs to get over this whole thing of trying to be original, because you won't. Like this, and that's okay. You can't be original. It's kind of impossible. It doesn't mean that you're not being authentic. You can be authentic to your own style, but I don't think, anything's truly original in that sense anymore. If you really think about the word original, everything is borrowed. Yeah, exactly. As long as you're not plagiarizing. But it's a really interesting topic, and that's only my opinion, and you might have a different opinion to that, and that's absolutely okay, because that's what makes art so amazing, is the fact that we can all have different opinions on it. So instead of going, well, I don't believe that, that's not how I see it, just be like, yeah, I don't believe that, this is how I see it, and everyone be absolutely cool with that. Talking of cool things, hello Kelly. Steve Jobs copied Bill Gates, but whatever. Brilliant. Even the bass line in Hard House Club had started that sound in 1999. Yeah, but that sound, that's an FM synth sound, isn't it? That doop donkey kind of a sound. It was on like a Rhodes piano or something like that, or an FM synth that could make the sound of a Rhodes piano, something like that. So to say that they started that sound, that's probably like just your perception of it. But that sound itself could have been around for a long time. It's just when it's used in a certain context, And then we become aware of it, or it gets popular. But you know, it's the same as people who say, "Oh, who invented techno?" Hi, Sebastian. Does anyone know any good artists of that music? Josh Wink's cool. Laurent Garnier's cool. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, everything is borrowed. It's all good. So, Boski's first. Boski has done a remix of my techno tune, Metal. Very, very proud of you, mate. You've done a great job on this. I really like it. So we're going to listen to that first. Some of you would have heard my original. I literally gave... What did I give you, Boski? I gave you the MIDI files for my riff and the counter melody, and I think I gave you like a vocal ooh that I'm MIDI and the Vox. Sounds like a Roald Dahl book, that, doesn't it? MIDI and the Vox. Did I get a haircut? No, I've not really got a haircut. I took my hair extensions out, and I think I'm going to keep them out. I feel a little bit freer with them out. I feel a little bit more like, you know, guy can do things and not go, oh, get off my hair. You know, I feel like maybe a little bit freer to, you know, get down and dirty with my husband. Ah! Woo! Yeah, you can tell he's been away for like 4 days. Like someone said, oh, next time you come to South Africa, you're going to do a back-to-back. And I was like, yeah, want to do a front-to-front when you get home? Huh? Huh? Yeah! He's got to do it now. He's my husband. This is his job. Whew. But not quite yet, because we need to do the demo drop. So we're going to listen to this song that we're going to listen to this song. Have a little listen. That Boski has remixed of mine, and it's metal. Here we go. No, it's not going to be quick. No, it's fine. It's fine. He's doing other things at the moment, so I'm letting him. I'm letting him rest. I'm letting him rest at the moment. I'm not a monster. He's just got in the house. I'll just let him unpack his stuff, chill out for a bit. There we go. Okay, so here we go. Amber D Metal Boski remix. bow. Boski, take a bow, mate. Yeah. I think you did a really good job with this remix. I like the small inflections and the changes that you've made on your kind of like your intro and your outro melody, where I can tell you've swapped it around. You've added a little bit of flair to the original MIDI. I like that, which is a really good way to make a remix your own. Oh, thank you, Boski. Yeah, this was one of the ones I probably spent the most time on. And what the really good thing about this, as in terms of a project for me, was I tackled it bit by bit. So one session would have been, let's work on the progression of the riff. Instead of doing what I usually do, which would be like I have a riff that's maybe 8 bars long or maybe 16 bars long, but it's not very long. Instead of working in that way, obviously I started with an initial idea, like the original, the simple riff version, and then I made it bigger. So it ended up with the riff being probably 32 times 2, 64. And in that time, the riff is changing. We've still got the solidity of the fundamental riff, but then over time it starts telling a story. And this was one of those projects that I specifically went into it each session, and the session will last between 4 and 8 hours, and I'll specifically only work on that one thing. So on that one, it would have been, you know, the riff in itself. And then a second session would be synthesis. So I would spend another 4 to 8 hours, probably 4 to 8 hours, making a sound from scratch, choosing the oscillators, what am I going to be running certain things through, creating macros, getting stuff to like morph through. So like I used a wavetable synthesis, automation on one of the oscillators, trying out different filter types, then doing extra processing after that, and then watching how it evolves, seeing how distortion or saturation within the synth affects the other effects around it. How can I tie that all in? So that was another thing. And then another aspect to it would have been arrangement, all the rest of it. So this is why I think it's worth us all spending larger amounts of time on finishing a track, on focusing more intently on every aspect of that tune, of our project, because then Boski could tell that there was something different about that track. And Control 4 has just said, oh, well, I'd like to do a psytrance mix of that. And that wouldn't normally happen if it was just a track where, you know the difference. You know the difference between something that you spend a lot of time in. You know, we all know when we've overcooked it as well, but you know when you've been really specific about what you're doing. And I think that that's the difference. And I think that is when people will then say, do you know what? I would like to see what that's like. I would like to see what it would be like for me to put my stamp on that, because I'm excited about that. And that's because you've put extra expression into it. And then when someone else resonates with that, any artists love other artists. We all love other artists. And if we hear something like that, we're like, fuck, yes, I understand. I want to put my thing on that. So yeah, I'll send it. Just remind me in a thingy, Control 4, and I'll send over the MIDI bits. But it's really nice when, you know, when someone honors your work in that way and says, I really like that. I'd like to remix it. And then to come back with such a really cool remix, and you've put your own stamp on it. I lived it. I lived everything about it. I think you're amazing. The standout thing for me in this tune is the progression and the way it builds. Yeah, well, I channeled my inner Guyver for that one. It's something that, like I said before, if you guys ever want to get in touch with Guy and join his Patreon, he has videos now on there of all of the stuff that he's taught me with my building a progression. And it's all about telling the story. Because otherwise, if you don't start mapping it out, what will happen is you'll keep adding notes to your original 8-bar loop of MIDI. You'll keep adding and you'll keep adding and you keep adding it. But, oh yeah, this sounds ace. It sounds ace. But you've done it. You've given them too much. You've ejaculated too early. And you don't want to ejaculate too early when it comes to your riff. You really don't. You want to tease it. You want to edge a bit. So instead of ruining it by putting all the notes in straight away, get your initial idea, bank it, get another version out, and then start twiddling around with it. Then start putting a finger in or whatever. Hi, Quasi. But don't mess around with the initial idea. There you go. Thank you. Thank you, Boski. Love you. Make sure you go and follow Boski, please. Okay, next up. We have got... We've got a mashup rehash by Ben Mack. And this is the Prodigy Out of Space. Love you too, Boski. So there we go. That is Ben Mac's rehash of the Prodigy Out of Space. A lot of love for this track. So as an idea, I think there's some really good ideas. One of the main things which can be difficult to get right is choosing the right sounds. I'd say this is choosing all the right sounds. And I like the arrangement. I think the arrangement's good. What are we on? We're on about, how long is it? 5.5 minutes. So maybe by today's standards, it might be on the longer side, but certainly a normal kind of arrangement length for me to play this kind of stuff. It's got a very untidy feel to it. As in the record label Untidy, for those of you who don't know what Untidy is. And if you don't, where have you been? So it's got everything that I look for in this style. Yeah, I really liked it as well. The only thing is, and this is just something that comes with time, there is a little bit of issue with tuning the samples. And a few, because there's a line, right? There's a line. There's parts of this where it was what you could consider being out of key. And what I mean by that is not in a harmonic or in the scale of the root note. Sometimes that doesn't matter. Sometimes that can actually create lift or energy, but it depends what is playing at the same time. So there were 2 points in this where it became uneasy for me to listen to it. And it's an easy fix. And those 2 times were, we're gonna have a listen back. If you're on a phone, I don't know if you'll hear this, but you might. But it's just a case of tuning the bass to the melody. So the first time I heard it, it was at 2 minutes 15, and then the second time was at 3 minutes and 30. So we'll go back to 2 minutes 15 and have a quick listen. Hang on. So have a listen, and I'll point out where I mean. Did you hear that? So we'll go again. And the reason for this is the that vocal, the melody, that like old schooly vocal melody on the top is in a major key. And the bass line is a dun, 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 dun. So it's going up and down by a semitone, and it's in a minor key. So if you wanted to keep all of the elements in and not change anything, all you would need to change would be the notes, the MIDI notes on that bass line, on the offbeat bass line. And you would just do it to match the notes of the and the key of that top line melody, or you could just take out that melody, that old schooly organy thing, and it would be fine. And then it happens again at 3 minutes 30, and it's the same sounds. And it's also because that organ sound is over 4 bars, whereas the bass line, it repeats over 2 bars. And also the fact that one is in a major key and the bass line is in a minor key. But those are just things that you're going to, like, if you didn't know that, you would just hear it and go, oh, it sounds messy. So I'm just taking it a step further, deeper into, well, that's not helpful information. What is it exactly that is messy about it? But that would be the theory behind why those 2 bits stick out for me as being needing to be worked on. But they're worth working on because this is a really, really good tune. So thank you, Ben, for sending it in. I'm sorry it took me 2 years to get to this track. But I'm glad that we've played it now. It literally slipped the net. I didn't see the email. So we've got there now. So yay. I hope that all made sense. Hello, Cosmic Butterfly. Getting kick and bass in different tonalities sometimes not only works, but the only way to make kick and bass complement each other properly. Yeah. Yeah, well, then you're talking tonalities, but in this case, it was absolutely a key issue. Ghost keys. Ghost keys are fine, Martin, as long as you know that the sample that you're using, or even the synth, the sound that you're making in the synth is absolutely that note. Because that's the thing. As soon as you start messing around with this, sometimes you can open up a synth, choose a preset, and it's not in the key that the rest of your track is in. That can happen as well. But as soon as you start messing around with stuff, or you're using a sample, and that sample might not be tuned, or it might not give any actual information as to what note it is or anything. So ghost keys will work to a degree, as long as you know that you definitely got the right note or key to begin with. If you're unsure, the way I would do it would be I would just open up a synth, put it on initiate, and then just press C, or like whatever it was that I was thinking it was, and just check. Also, if you try, hi Richie, if you try and use one of those things, Logic has one of these, I believe, which will tell you the key of something. It won't always work well on very short samples as well. Hello, hustler. He's a hustler. So yeah, I hope that was helpful, Ben. Okay, next up we have got Symmetrik, Caroline, and this is the Pete.M remix. Or is it not Caroline? Is it Coraline? Hello, hello, Dr. Drew Clute. Is it not Caroline? He's put Caroline. It's Caroline now. Hi, Mark Ross. Coraline. I don't watch films. I haven't got the attention span for it. Unless it's the film, it has to be a specific film. It could be one of three. It could be number 3, Gentlemen Broncos. Number 2, Napoleon Dynamite, or number 1, Freddy Got Fingered. It's an animated cartoon movie. Okay, I might be able to watch that. Okay, so this is it. This is Symmetrik, Caroline. Oh, if it's dark, I don't want to watch dark stuff. No, because I end up thinking about it for weeks afterwards, and I get really upset. Napoleon Dynamite is an awesome film. Freddy Got Fingered. I know every single part of the script inside out of that film. Every part of it. I could write a whole thesis on that film and how deep it is. Honestly, it was a work of genius, that film. One day I'll take loads of drugs and I'll sit here and talk at you for 5 hours about Freddy Got Fingered. Okay, Pete.M remix of Symmetrik, Caroline.
at your old address. Did you get the messages I sent? I miss those pretty eyes. Where are you, Caroline? Oh, tell me, why did you leave me? Where did you go? Where did you go? Tell me, why did you leave me? Where did you go? Where did you go? I've been looking day and night, waiting until 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 day and night. I've been looking day and night, waiting until closing time. You never say goodbye. I miss my Caroline. Turn up at your old address. Did you get the messages I sent? I miss those pretty eyes. Where are you, Caroline? Oh, tell me, why did you leave me? Where did you go? Where did you go? Tell me, why did you leave me? Where did you go? Where did you go? I miss my Caroline. I've been looking day and night, waiting until closing time. You never say goodbye. I miss my Caroline. I've been looking day and night, and 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 day and night. I miss my
There we go. That is Pete.M's remix of Symmetrik, Caroline. I would love to hear the original after hearing that. Wow. Welcome in everyone that's just got here, by the way. And I want to say a big thank you to my resubscribers, people like us and Adam Schofield. It means a lot when you guys subscribe. It really does. It helps to bump me up to the 60-40 split with Twitch as well. So it massively helps me financially. So thank you. I would really, really... Thank you, Framey. Thank you. I would really, really like to hear the original of this now. What a vocal. What a vocal. And I also concur, like what a few of the people were saying there about the kind of glitchy one-shot Vox effect that he was doing there as well. So, all the details. If you want to stick a track in the in my inbox, if you want to put a track in my inbox, then you do it from here. There you go. All the details are there. Please, 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 please don't send me a WeTransfer link that will expire, because we've got about a month, 4-week waiting list at the moment. I'm trying to get through them as much as I can. Yeah, don't prematurely drop it. You're welcome, Planet Bounce, and welcome to the demo drop. Yeah, I'd love to hear your work, mate. We have some regulars on here, but it's also an absolute joy to have people who might have been watching a few episodes and then want to send something in. Oh my goodness! Drew! Dr. You, thank you so much. Wow. Thank you. I love you, mate. Thank you for 5 gifted subs. I appreciate you so much. Thank you. And yeah, like there's a good group of people in here. There's you're welcome, Dr. You. There's people that aren't producers, there's people that are, and all of the responses or the feedback is all relevant stuff, because it comes at it from a different angle. I'll give you an example. When Guy is doing an album, when he's making a tune, he doesn't go and ask other producers, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? And the reason behind that is because other producers will have their own producer hang-ups and their own things that they're listening out for. I live stories about Guy. So Guy's my favourite subject. He really is. He's like literally my favourite subject. And he won't. And I asked him why. I said, well, why don't you want other producers to listen to it? He says, because I know what they will be saying, and I know what they're picking up on is kind of like specific to their own things that they've got going on with their production techniques. So the point is, we are, aren't we, Dr. You? Yeah. The one person who has the most influence over his decisions when he's making an album is his mum. It's his mum. If his mum likes it, if he can get his mum to sit down and say, oh, I like that, oh, then he'll know that he's onto a good one there. And I think that's so lovely, isn't it? It's so sweet. But it was his mum that got him into music, and he always says if he can impress his mum with it, then he'll know it's a good one. So yeah, it is. And she's not a music producer, but that is the point, and that's the point of the demo drop as well. Is in our chat we have a great mix of other producers and then people who would just love listening to music. And I love that about it, because it's really interesting to me to hear what you guys are hearing when you listen to stuff and what you're picking up on or what is exciting to you. Because I get really surprised sometimes, like what people are enjoying about a tune. And it's never the things that I'm thinking about. I could be thinking something like, oh, well, there's too much saturation on that hi-hat or something, or there is a slight, there's like something is out of tune by like 25 cents on that bass line layer, stupid shit like that. Whereas someone that is just listening to it as a whole, they will hear it in its entirety in the way it's supposed to be. And that really calms me down as an artist and as a producer, because it makes me not fret so much, or try not to fret so much about the little things. So yeah, it's really nice to have all of these different types of people in here. Dr. Drew Clute says start doing live jams one day. Yes, I am saving up for my TR8S as we speak. Yep, no do-overs. Yeah, well, this is it. It's a nice way of working, and I understand that's why you do it, Dr. Drew Clute, because, yeah. Where's the doctor from your name gone? Have you always... Hang on. Is this a dyslexic thing? Droog, have you changed your name? Or was it? It was Dr. Droog, wasn't it? Why have you? Oh God, it's like one of those. What's the thing? The Mandela effect. Oh, it's your gaming account. Whew, okay, got it. That's all right then. I thought I was making up names then. I was diagnosed with cancer in November. I'm sorry to hear that, mate. Had chemo in January to April. Music production got me through it and helped me beat it. Yes! Huge W for Planet Bounce. What a fucking legend. Beating cancer. What the fuck? That's amazing. What a dude. I'm so happy for you. Yeah! Fuck cancer. That's awesome, mate. That is completely awesome. Oh yeah, sorry, your air horn won't work. Mine does though. I'll do it for you. Here we go. Where's it gone? Where's the air horn gone? There it is. Yay! Yeah, music is a medicine. Sure is. Sure is. So yeah, Pete.M, I love this remix. I love everything you do anyway, mate. I know you'll be watching this back later. Pete is in Australia, so he's asleep right now. But yeah, a completely clean sounding track. I really loved the kick. I loved that effect on that vocal as well. And I love the progression of it. It's still rattling around my head as well, the whole thing. I can still hear it in my mind, so that's always a good sign for me. If you guys would like to, please make sure you go and follow Pete Maxwell on SoundCloud. Go and give him a follow. If you're watching this on YouTube, you will find everyone's social medias in the description. Okay, who is next? It's an M series in, so we'll do M series next. Martin, your one. This is Survivor, and this is by M series. There we go. That bass line. Really nice and textured. It's an issue that I came up against in my latest remix I'm doing. I've got to redo the bass all over again because I've literally just compressed the fuck out of it, so it's really flat sounding. So right now, my thing that I'm always listening to intently is people's bass lines. I would get arrested if I was doing that in real life, but right now I am checking everyone's bass lines out. Yeah. It's a really nice bass line because it's even, it's very balanced, but it's also got harmonics in it and it's interesting to listen to it. So there you go. And obviously the rest of it is really, really nice as well. Really, really nice. I love the vocal. And well done to Stu C as well. Juicy Stu C. Ha! Juicy Stu C. You're welcome. Yeah, really liked it. He is juicy, isn't he? I told ya. Fucking told ya. Malin, thank you for 3 years, mate. I can't believe I've known you for 3 years. 3 years of absolute joy. Joy. You make me so happy, Malin. Flown by. I know, right? I think it's about creating contrast, which allows different elements to stand out as separate and distinctive. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I saw this actually recently. Someone was having a conversation about layering your bass and how that's not even a thing anymore. I mean, it all comes down to preference, doesn't it? Like, however you do it is the way that you do it. And I think the whole thing about layering and having different layers in terms of having like 3 different mixer channels running then into a bass bus group, for example. I think the way that that's kind of like changed somewhat now is a way that you can get a lot more control over things is because we have the ability to route effects chains within a synthesizer. So say like if you've got 2 oscillators and you want them both to go through saturation and compression, but you didn't want to compress the sub, then you could still do all of that within the synth, but then you would just like run the sub straight out to the master instead of going through one of the effects chains within the synth. So like, I think stuff like that has changed the way that we think about making bass lines now. Yeah, I think layering is essential, but I think it can be... I don't think it needs to be as difficult as it used to be. But again, is it difficult? Like, because if you're used to doing it a certain way, then you like doing it that way. So, yeah, it's all about how you want to work, really, and what you've got as well. Because if you might not be using a synth, you might just be wanting to use samples. So that's up to you. You've got that right. The speed of a rolling bass at 147 BPM doesn't really work when it doesn't give the sound time to develop. Interesting, especially with subs. I will respect what you're saying there, Martin, but I also live in a world where I feel like what you're saying there can actually not be true as well. So you're saying the speed of a rolling bass at 147 BPM doesn't really work when it doesn't give the sound time to develop. I think it can because we've got psytrance. Psytrance is usually above 147, isn't it? So it all probably depends on the length of your kick and the length of the notes probably of your bass line as well. I think when we start thinking of things in terms of 147 beats per minute, it's like a very exact thing to say, isn't it? And I would personally think you're probably putting yourself, like limiting yourself by having those. What I mean is an offbeat bass in my experience will be cleaner as opposed to what I did in this track. Well, it worked. It worked really well. Yeah, so your opinion doesn't fit all situations. But if it works for you, then that's all that matters. Yeah, I'm FL Studio. Anyone else FL Studio? Usually club owners have a sonic imprint of the space the event going to take place in. Do they? And they know ahead of time which root note will sound the best in that space. Not in the clubs I play at, they fucking don't. Ah! No, they don't. I wish they did. I've never heard of that before. Are you serious? What? And let's just go into this quickly. Usually, club owners have a sonic imprint of the space the event is going to take place in, and they know ahead of time which root note will sound the best in that space. Oh, well, you're talking asterisks, yeah. You're talking asterisks. So that won't necessarily be the club owner, will it? Would it be the promoter? Or it would be the sound engineers, wouldn't it? Are you sure? I've never ever heard of that being a thing. So you're saying that then at that point everyone needs to change the root note of the tracks? Is that what that means? Yeah, it wouldn't be the club owner. I've never ever heard of that being a thing. Yeah, I don't know about that. I'll see if I can find out, but I've never ever heard of that being a thing. So the root note which would sound best in that space. What about the sound system though? Wouldn't that be dictated by the sound system? And also, yeah, but then also we're talking about frequency. So the root note of something is depending on the frequency of it. But that's like a given, is it, already? Which would sound best? Yeah, sound travel's different in a full club and an empty club. Yeah, exactly. So root note would detect. Yeah, but that would be in the studio, surely. That I don't know about that. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look more into that, but I don't know. I've never heard of that being a thing. Yeah, if the root note is different, the frequency would be different. Yeah. Oh my God, stop it, because we're all going on an ADHD thing now. Hang on, I need to look into this further. Hang on. I want to fact check this because it'd be interesting if it is true. Do artists check what root note sounds best in a club during sound check? Question mark. Yeah, I mean there's a sound check, but I don't think that's to see which key would sound best in. Like a lot of places are saying like the key of G, but this is to do with what you're making the track in to begin with, isn't it? Yeah, I don't know about that, mate. I don't think that it is. I could be wrong, but I honestly have never ever heard of people checking what root note would sound better in a specific space, because that would be governed probably by what sound system's going in there, and if that was a variable, all artists would be like not. They wouldn't make a track in certain keys. Now there are certain keys that people always will make tracks in. There's like B, like if I'm talking about dance music. There's like a B minor, G sharp, A minor. You'll find the same ones flip up from time to over and over again, and that's because of the way that it sounds, the harmonics and how it all sounds, especially in the kick and the bass region. If you then had to worry about that going to shit in any given space, then what would be the point in what would be the point in actually doing it in the studio in a certain key? Let's just say like this club sounds best in D sharp and that one in C major. I don't get it. Yeah, I honestly, I think you should really look into that. Everyone would be making tracks in this. I don't think that's a thing. Just make a track in F just to fuck them up. We'll look further into that because it's very easy to get into these belief systems. We all do it. I might be wrong. Yeah, it is an interesting concept. There might be something to it. I just don't think it would be like a hard and fast rule. But, I probably know someone that knows Asterix and we could ask him just to see if that is like a thing that, is specific to his type of music maybe. But it's interesting, isn't it? It is interesting. But yeah. I would like to know further on that. But yeah, thank you for bringing it up. I think from the experience as a promoter's girlfriend, says Jamie, the only time sound has really been an issue is when DJs are redlining off the charts. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you use different clubs all the time. Yeah, it's an interesting concept, though. And there might be some truth to it. Who knows? But I'm definitely going to put the feelers out on that. Because it would be really, really useful to know things like that. Yeah, so I agree with that. So I agree with what you're saying there, Control 4. When a sound engineer tests a sound in a club, he EQs it for the space, yeah. But I am questioning what sounds, because you're adding another variable there then. So if he's EQ'd it to a certain, for it to fill a certain space or sound good in a certain club, how is that then? He should be doing that to bend to the tracks, not the tracks needing to be then re-pitched to be the right pitch. Because then what you're going to do is you're going to introduce artifacts from the re-pitching of all of the music. Because then everything else has got to go down a few semitones or up a few semitones. So that's going to cause extra processing issues. Yeah, we'll look into it further. I'm not 100% sure. Let's drop it. Everyone's like, oh fuck, but what if it's true? It might be. We don't know yet. We don't know. Well, the jury's out on it. But thank you for bringing it up. It's interesting. Jamie says, how would you then make a track that could be right for all types of clubs? That would stress me out. Yeah, I think that's my thought on it as well, is then you would probably need to have a version of it for that specific club. I don't know. I think the only way that would work is this, because whenever I've done sound checks, right, you go in there, you do your sound check, and then you have a sound engineer next to you, and he will do the things that he does to make sure everything sounds good, EQing it to the sound, to the shape of the room, or whatever sounds best in that space. But that would be it. Like that's it wouldn't be my job to make sure that my tunes were in the correct key for the shape of that club. So yeah, that's something that I am not aware of at all, but it doesn't mean that it's not true at all. Okay, next up we have got Adam Schofield. And this is Phonotactics. Well done, Adam. Yep, so that was Adam. Phonotactics. Great name. I picked up there was quite a lot of saturation on stuff there. Especially like the bell sound. Doom, doom. But I don't think it was overkill because it's this kind of European hard trance style. So I don't feel like it was overly done. In fact, I kind of liked it. Other things I really liked about it. That riff is beautiful. I like the counter melody on it. A lot of work's gone into it. Everything sounded extremely well balanced. Yeah, I could tell you wanted it to sound a little distorted. And I think that it lends to that very nicely. I didn't think it was... Because it's you and I know you know what you're doing. Like, it didn't feel like it was in the way. I think what I'm saying there would have been... I would have held back a bit on it out of fear of it being too much. And that's a me problem. Yeah, it's a really, really good tune. Very good producer. Really lovely, emotive melody. And it's difficult because if you're not going to use a vocal, you have to find the expression in the melody, within your riff, within your progression. And your synthesis, your sound design. And you do it so well. You do it so well. So thank you for sending it in. Loved it. Woo! Go and follow Adam Schofield. Now! Do it! Do as you're told. This man is on 172 followers, which is crazy. You should be on 172,000 because you're that good. Even more, 172 million people. Reminded me of Mark Ross. Mark Ross is here. In fact, I'm going to put Mark Ross on next. Because I know you go to bed early, don't you? Yes, ma'am. Good. There you go. Everyone needs to be a bit more like Jamie. She knows what she's supposed to do. Do as she's told. Thank you, Jamie. Thank you. Okay, next up we are going to play Mark Ross. Mark Ross's remix of Too Many Times by Kai Tracid. I've been playing this remix of Mark's for a while. And just so you guys know, it is a free download. So I will be giving you the link for this free download afterwards as well. So here we go.
times I put your life to the test. Too many times I've taken this trip. Too many times you have slipped.
Good is that? Hello, Mason. Mate. Oh, my God. I actually made the melody and track for Hyperreality. Then when they said no, I added Kai Tracid vocals and gave it away for free. What do you mean they said no? Why didn't you come to me? I'd have put it out for you, Mark. Jesus Christ. What a tune. Wow. Wow. Yeah, I love it. I will. You know I love it. Oh, well, I don't know if you know this, but I do love it. I have been playing this remix. C. James says, I've heard that melody somewhere before. Yeah, now you've said it. I maybe it's the pattern that we've heard before. I might have heard the pattern of it before. There is loads more of Mark Rostov. Make sure you are following him. Hello, JLF. Make sure you're following him, please, on SoundCloud. I'll tell you why, because Barry's a dick. I'm only joking, Barry, if you're watching this. I'm not really a dick. You were just obviously having a bad day, weren't you, Barry? Silly boy. He thought it was too UK or something. No. But he's the right to say no if he doesn't want it. But hey, listen, if he doesn't want it, next time just come over to my label. Make you a star. Well done, Planet Bounce. Yeah, very European sounding. Very, and also remember this HTE, Hard Trance Europe record label. Nick Coles, my agent, he's got a really good record label as well, and it would be perfect on that. So JLF needs some inspiration. Just been trying to make some music and it sounds awful. Oh, really? Ah! Never had that happen. Ah! Why do you think we're all here? Because we've all got the same fucking issue. Otherwise, we'd be in the studio right now making something that didn't sound awful. But no. Yeah. Well, this is kind of like that kind of, it's like a Alcoholics Anonymous for producers. Teenager is not the key for me. Oh, mate. Oh. Welp. Yeah, but you're going to learn something from it, aren't you? We are all mental hustler, yes. I think that's the point, though, in all sincerity, is you're going to have bad days. I am reading, and I really, really recommend that you guys go and read this book. It's called The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. And one of the things she says to do in it is morning pages. I'll show you my morning pages. Oh, you're not going to read them because you're not supposed to read them. But every day I sit down and I write my morning pages. These are my morning pages. I sit there and I write my morning pages. Every single morning. Every single morning. Morning pages. Morning pages. Morning pages. Morning pages. And you do that every single day. And it really helps you to... I do it straight after I've meditated. Every morning. Morning pages. Ain't nobody got time for that. Well, don't do it then. However, I recommend that you do because... it's massively helped me to recognise what I want to do in that day. And I've been a lot more functional. I have... you don't have to write... that's not one day's, like, writing. That's... that I only do, like... I do 2 pages of the big one. So, like, 2 sides. 2 sides a day or 3 of the little one. So... like that's one of the things that they talk about in this book, The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. So morning pages, it helps you to externalize and get it's like they call it a brainstorming, information dump, whatever you want to call it. There's loads of different variations to it that have been used over years and years and years. If you are a creative person and you want to get out of you want to get the block gone, the writer's block, or the fog and the I don't know what to do-ness. So if you don't know what to write, you just write whatever. You just write I don't know what to write, and you just keep writing that. It's the act of putting the pen to the paper. But I'm just saying, I read that book the first time about 7 years ago. And didn't know anything and didn't take any action on it. I just knew I'm supposed to do these morning pages. And I now do them every single day. I've done them every single day for about 3 weeks now. And it definitely is helping. Definitely. On a lot of levels. Really good to practice a new language you're learning too, yeah? Yeah. There's many things in that book that I think would be quite helpful to anyone that is suffering from writer's block, and not, just feeling that you're not getting anywhere with stuff. Because I definitely feel it helps. It helps me to work out what the fuck I'm going to do that day. So, Dodgeball says, I've done the raffle and sent over a demo. Then found out from Digital Mafia the strings are wrong, but still play it if you want. I tell you what, thank you, number one, for getting a raffle ticket. If anyone else wants to win a 3-hour-long DJ session with me, tickets are only £1. You've got until 4th of November. Go and enter it now. But in terms of the strings being wrong, just send it back in again when it's right. And if you want me to fast track it, then all you need to do is send me a message on a Tuesday before 4 p.m. on Facebook and say, can you play my song? And then I'll find your email. So that best to do it that way. Best to, because once it's out there, we can't suck it back in again. Can international people do the raffle? Yes. You don't need to come to the studio. No, you can do it all online. So it's open to any country. So yeah. Because we can do it online. It's fine. And send your email in the text. Yep. Yep. Pro tip: the strings will never be right. So true. Thank you, Mark. Next up, we have got Cosmic Butterfly 34, and this is "I Want to Be With You." Okay, there we go. Cosmic Butterfly 34. I want to be with you. Yeah, I concur again with what people were saying in the chat there. I like the fact that with that riff, I couldn't really preempt where it was going to take me, but it all made musical sense. So, 10 out of 10 for being authentic there, and, instead of just using like a MIDI pack with a pre-made melody or whatever. Nothing necessarily wrong with that, but like they can be preemptible, and this definitely was not preemptible, and I love that about it. Really, really nice. JLF said that he would swap the kick out. I really like the kick. Cosmic Butterfly, it is no surprise to me that you do not use MIDI packs. No surprise at all. Because if I heard that in a MIDI pack, I would buy the MIDI pack, because I'd be like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. So I would actually buy it. You should make your own MIDI packs, Cosmic Butterfly, is what I'm obviously saying. Yeah, I loved it. I think it's great. Yeah, you can tell. Like we were saying this before about if you spend a whole session working on just one element of your tune, so spend your time working on the melody progression and the melody. Don't think about your percussion. Don't think about EQing stuff. Just, work on that one aspect of it. You're going to get a much more refined part for your tune, because you're not flitting and changing and swapping and changing what you're putting the attention on, because you can't, our human brains cannot focus on more than a few things at any given time. You want to give it your full attention, in quite the same way that when you're reversing into a car parking spot, you'll turn the music down to help you concentrate. And that's the same when we're dealing with certain aspects of a project. Spend all of your time on that one thing. Don't let it just be an afterthought, because we do notice, don't we? We do know, especially when it's a riff or a melody. We've all resonated with when that's happened tonight in someone's tracks. It's really important, because the rest of it will just work around that. If you could have the best tune ever, and then it have a really weak or predictable melody, and it will just bring it all down. Noises don't hide songcraft. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's the heart of it. Yeah, it's where all the, you're not really using, again, you're not using vocals here to tell the story. Your story is being told through your expression, through the riff, through the melody, through the evolving sounds that you're using. And that's a whole other level. So yeah, thank you for sending it in, mate. Love you, and I love your work. Please keep it up. Keep sending your stuff in. Next up, we've got Martin Guy, and this is three wheel ups. What's a wheel up, please? Can you tell me? Thank you.
That's a rider for real MCs. Nigga Wiley got attached to a real MC. Old tight D-double-E, that's a real OG. I said old tight D-double-E, that's a real OG. My reloading, pop, 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 that's a reloading. When I say it's Kano in the house, everybody knows that's a reloading. If you've been shooting in the man from way back when, how you ain't on a kilo ting? I don't wanna hear about crunch and food and things. Man, don't do those things. On site, food was on site in it. So them guys know shots fine in it. If you ain't rude and don't grind in it, that postcode that's offside in it. Madman from which part, them and them witchcraft, them and them up my phone, then go on like a direct rude boy. 3 weed ups in a row, that means I'm a direct rude boy. 3 weed ups in a row, that means I'm a direct rude boy. Two gets on my own, that means I'm a direct rude boy. 3 weed ups in a row, that means I'm a direct rude boy. Two gets on my own, that means I'm a direct rude boy.
Niggas in the act, we back them up. Knife game, even if it's back, so axe them up. Switch. I'm into the match, I match it up. And then with the bats, I patch it up. Sitting in the trap, we crack the cut. I'm sitting in the cap and crack the cup. I silly with the map, man, mash them up. I hit him with the back, then back the drop. He's some jigs, I'm king, and he's a prince. I let back, they ping, and they leave no prints. I said that's me, and yes, he's some skin. I'm in the map 350 with Clark, let beef go mince.
If you don't look after your own, you boy, you're not a direct rude boy. And you're in district, up in that goose boy, you're not a direct rude boy. Bum Street just bought brand new goods, why you man can't get a new toy? That's why I man's Pete.M just free, then sent me a direct rude boy. 16 bars in effect, might just upset the man's lyrics. Take this pen, take a neck, and just show Pesci man with it. Cash rules everything around, and that's words of a method man lyric. Yeah, I roll deep in the east, but I still might mega man with it. Yeah, I said it, yeah, I said it. Checks we get it, cash and collect it. That little pellet, that naga make it. Rest his head in that man spaghetti. You them a menace, not unlike Dennis. Man got straps, ain't even got credit. Kids push prams to Westfield to lick it and run from pigs, don't even watch pepper. Room go get out, geezers go better. But geezers need excitement, said Skinner. Don't resume the violence, no never. Man just start a violence, go figure. Eat man's food before man eat dinner. Bust that booze and roll and drink liquor. Left that kicks he got from my nigga. 3 weed ups in a row, that means I'm a direct rude boy. Two gets on my own, that means I'm a direct rude boy. Man can't call up my phone, then go on like a direct rude boy. One side bag and a stone, he don't make you a direct. Can't tell with none. Cook now mutton, then pass through the gutter. Link Justine, red cups at the cupboard in the jungle. I move with original nutters in the same madman fly out for the summer. Lick 2 blocks, who are you? Runners, shut down doors, who am I? Shutters, couple wheel ups and bars, that's nothing. Boiling point, I keep it 100. Make you a direct rude boy.
Yo, Martin Guy, take a bow. I love this. I love this for everything it is. It's really cool. My kids would love this as well. So a wheel up is what we call a pull up. So that's the same as a wheel up. Got it. So I think it's really good. Yeah, I agree, Cosmic Butterfly. Really clean production. I loved everything about it. The only thing, if I'm going to really, like, the only thing that was kind of niggling at me a little bit is that that isn't, it's out of key. But it's not a massive deal. I'll just show you what I mean. So it's that because it ends, because the end note of it, because that ends where it ends, it actually is all right, but where it starts is out of key. But it wasn't that bad that it was making me like hurl or anything. It wasn't a problem. But it would be something that I would be trying to maybe fix in Melodyne. Like if I wanted to use it within a track, I would go in and I would like just change where that first note is. But that's like being pedantic, I think. Possibly. But yeah, really, really, really good tune. Love it. Love it, mate. Oh, you don't have it and it's a lot of money. Fair enough. Fair enough. Are you on FL Studio? You could use New Tone. Honestly, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. It's just something that I would have like tightened up. On Logic. Surely there's one for Logic. I mean, what you could do is just splice the audio and then just detune it. There's more than one way to skin a cat. But like I said, it's not an issue. It's not a massive thing. The Roughmate says, I'm nearly finished a Trap Grime remix with a trance nod. Would it pass on the demo drop? Yeah, anything, any style at all, mate. Yeah. Don't worry about what style you're sending in. But yeah, honestly, Martin, your production has just come along so much. I'm so fucking proud of you. I really am. And thank you for continuing to send your stuff in. I know it's not easy. It can be a bit like, you know, because you're putting yourself in a vulnerable situation. We all do that, you know. When we open ourselves, we can potentially open ourselves up to ridicule when we do this. But that's about the strength in that vulnerability. It's really important because without it, none of us are gonna continue to release music or put music out there. If we can't deal with this, then it's going to be even harder, you know. Fuck it. It doesn't matter at the end of the day. It doesn't matter what anyone else could potentially think. You will always think the worst stuff about everything you do. Everything. You are the one person that slags you off more than anyone else ever will. So when we know that, you just need to stop giving yourself a hard time and just remember that, you know, putting yourself out there and being vulnerable is where all the good stuff is. Face the fear and do it anyway. Top tip, only use ghost producers as a lesson. Don't rely on the option. Learn for yourself. It's far more rewarding. I would agree. I think it is very rewarding to do your own stuff. I don't think it's a problem using engineers. I used engineers for probably 10 years of my career, but I do have an issue when it comes to ghost production. That's just my opinion and I'm allowed to have it. But my opinion on ghost producing is I think it's fine for the people that want to be a ghost producer, because I think anyone making money in this industry, they should be able to make money in this industry. My problem is more to do with when someone flat out lies that they've made a track when they absolutely haven't. I think that that's disingenuous to the fans. I also understand sometimes the fans might not actually care. That might not even be an issue. But I also think that it is bullshit that a lot of these people that do ghost produce, get a very, very, very small wage from it. So I think the bounce scene is 95 produced by Kenny Hayes. Yeah, but we all know. No, you do have other producers. I'll tell you a few. You've got Drake Liddell. You've got Heads Up. You've got Club Filler. You've got Reflex. You've got Ricky Gray. You've got Scott Rez. You've got K Project. You've got Bounce Enforcerz. You've got a lot. But you do have a lot more... you do have a lot of DJs who are putting music out there. So it depends really. Like if you're a DJ, like as a DJ, one of the things I say to my students as well is you need to start producing because it will help you to get more gigs. My problem is when you're having a conversation with someone and you know that they've got an engineer and you know who their engineer is. Oh, sorry, you know who their ghost producer is, and they're like, I'm like, oh, okay, so your sound's got really good, really, really, really quickly. Like, well done. Like, what's your process on your leads bus group? And they're like, oh yeah, I've got loads of those, and then they run off, and you're like, oh, okay, that's interesting. Like it's. Yeah, and engineers, there you go, JLF says it the best there. Engineers are a great resource, but they should be credited. Absolutely nothing wrong with using engineers. But my issue is when it is, when it's lied about, because it's very obvious to people that do produce. As soon as you sit down with someone and you have a conversation about these things and they don't really understand what you're talking about. And then also what that leads to is very shady behaviour within the industry. Because when people are holding on to a secret, then they've created a lie around their entire career. What will happen is they will become very protective over that lie. And if you seem to be someone that might be questioning that, you will suffer the consequences of that. So you've got to be really careful what you say. I don't need to be, because I do my own thing. I'm too old in the tooth for all of that. So like it doesn't really affect me in that kind of a way. But like it's you will come across that in the industry, that if it's people that are closely guarding stuff, they will have kind of like this very egotistical side to them, and a very kind of selfish gatekeepery aspect, like you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours kind of thing. But that's just one part of the scene. It's not all like that. It's not all doom and gloom. That's why we're here. If anyone talks like that, talks to me about learning to produce, the first thing I say is book a day with Dave Jackson. If you enjoy it, learn. If you don't, save yourself the time and don't learn. Yeah, exactly. But you will ultimately, you will always learn when you're in with an engineer, and every engineer will be happy for you to ask questions. I think, do you know what the main thing is go in with your own ideas, have some creative ideas. We know, like, people like Andy Warhol, he didn't make all of his own paintings. Someone else actually made them for him. But he's still the creative entity in that. The Sistine Chapel, you know, that wasn't just created by Michelangelo. That was like, is Michelangelo, isn't it, the Sistine Chapel? That was loads of different artists all helping to do that. It was his vision, though. So there's nothing wrong with being an engineer. Using an engineer. Like I say, my issue with it is just when it is lied about in a way that kind of is misleading, and makes you look like a dick, to be quite honest, because it's kind of obvious once you start having any kind of conversation with somebody around this topic. So yeah, that's what I reckon. Next up, we've got Bounce Enforcerz. But yeah, Kenny Hayes, if you're a bounce DJ and you want a good track, go and sit in with Kenny Hayes. He will make you an amazing tune. He's awesome. So yeah, Bounce Enforcerz. This is a remix of Flippin' Phil, Shooting Star.
Where were you to hold my hand? Hold my hand. Where were you to hold my hand? Hold my hand. Where were you to hold my hand? go crazy, I just need to know you care. Guarantee that you'll be there when I wake up in the night. Will you be my guiding light? I don't care how far I'll take the plane tonight. Just tell me where you are and everything's gonna be alright. Like a shooting star across the midnight sky, gonna fly just to be with you tonight. Like a shooting star across the midnight sky, gonna fly just to be with you tonight. Where were you? Gonna fly. Like a shooting star across the midnight sky, everywhere you're gonna see me fly. Like a shooting star across the midnight sky, everywhere you're gonna see me Where were you to hold my hand? Do the things that we had planned. Yes, I need you by my side when things go crazy. I just need to know you care. Guarantee that you'll be there when I wake up in the night. Will you be my guiding light? I don't care how far I'll take the plane tonight. Just tell me where you are and everything's gonna be alright. Like a shooting star across the midnight sky, gonna fly just to be with you tonight. Like a shooting star across the midnight sky, gonna fly just to be with you tonight. Across the midnight sky, like a shooting star across the
Amazing. So that is an official remix as well, which is just awesome. Thank you for sending that in, Bounce Enforcerz. There is Bounce Enforcerz SoundCloud. Yeah, this is a bounce song, Jamie. Yep, bounce. Also could be known as donk or scouse house, but it's usually called bounce. Bounce music. Bounce. Yeah, we don't call it bounce music, do we? What do we call it now? It's bounce. Yeah. Really, really good tune. Everything about it sounded perfect. It sounds good at that speed as well. Yeah. Bounce. Yeah, thank you for sending it in, mate. Yeah, donk's kind of like a bit of a, it can be known as a bit of a dirty word, or like a word, a disrespectful word. Not for me, I call it donk, but bounce, I think bounce is like, it makes more sense to call it bounce. Yeah, definitely. Next up, we have got Turbo Terrier. Where are you, Turbo Terrier? Hi, Anto. How you doing? Where's Turbo Terrier? I'm sure you're in the chat. There you are. Okay. Okay, so this is Live Forever. So this is a really cool track. It's a cover of Oasis. Hi, Ben. Ben, we played yours earlier. Don't worry. It's all right. You'll be able to watch it back. We loved it, by the way. Your Prodigy mashup remake. This will be going out on YouTube. I'll probably get it done tomorrow. But it might be up there tonight. It just takes a little bit of time to render. So, but it will be up there. Anyone else who's missed their track tonight, it will be up there tomorrow. But thank you. And again, I'm so sorry that it took me 2 years to get to your tune. I just didn't see it. But I'm so glad that we've managed to get it on the show now. And thank you so much for sending it in. Loads of love. Next up, we have got... You made this 2 days before they got together. So this is Live Forever. So this is a remake of the Oasis tune. Here we go. There we go. Turbo Terrier, Live Forever, Oasis cover. Loved that, mate. Thank you for sending it in. Yeah. Again, I loved the last one that you sent in as well, and this one's no different. Such a cool tune. The vocal being resung's really nice as well. Yeah, love it. Love, love, love. It made me feel happy. It just made me feel happy. I love this style as well. Hi, Torin. How you doing? Good to see you, mate. Yeah, it works really well, doesn't it, Ben? I agree. Maybe there was a little touch of like too much delay on it, but I could still hear what was being said. So I don't even think that that's like a technical thing. I think it's maybe a subjective thing on me, because I kind of liked the bouncy delay on it as well. So yeah, I think that's probably more a subjective thing, because I could see it wasn't getting washed out. But yeah, I really liked it. Such a lady. She's a lady. Hey, listen, listen, Linda. I never said I was a lady. I do burp. I heard something recently from my friend Jamie, I think is still in the chat, that apparently if you hold your farts in, you will get more wrinkles. Because if you make your body reabsorb the farts, it's really bad for your skin. So I'm sorry. It's got to come out. It's coming out either end, and I don't always know what end that's going to be. So deal with it. That's why I link to anyone. Thank you, Justin. And also, what are you trying to say? That's one of those conundrums, isn't it? You can never, ever get out of. Like, do you think I look young, or do you think I fart a lot? Huh? Because you can't have it both ways. Just in those instances, boys, just don't say anything. Just walk away. There you go. Jamie said it. It is true. She's been in the beauty industry for 17 years. That's why I will let rip if I need to. I don't want wrinkles. Nah, no thank you. Oh, Turbo Terry, I can't wait to hear your next one then. Keep them coming, mate. And yeah, once again, thank you very much for sending that in. Loved it. Many DJs can look rough, but somehow Amber's a fountain of youth. Thank you. So my secret weapon, I think, there's a few things. I stopped smoking. What else do I do? I use a gua sha. I haven't had any work done. I've had no Botox or anything like that. I might consider, what was it, like collagen injections at some point, but as it stands right now, I've had nothing. But I use gua sha. Yeah, cupping. Yeah, I had cupping last week or 2 weeks ago. I use my gua sha twice a day. I use whipped tallow fat on my skin, castor oil with frankincense, snail cum. It is a thing. But yeah, I think Turin, exactly. I think the fact that we used to take copious amounts of drugs in the 90s, early 2000s, some of us still are taking copious amounts of drugs, that it keeps us looking really young. I don't know why. I'm not sure why with all the sleepless nights and stuff, but yeah. It's a snail cum. It was, what's it called? Snail merkin. What is BP? What do you mean, what's BP? What's that? What have I missed? Well done, Martin. Yeah, I think that's the key, is like, if you used to do loads of drugs and stay up all of the time, you will look younger when you stop doing that. Like, as like a default thing. You literally will. But yeah. Not drinking alcohol really helps as well. But yeah, I think the main. Oh yeah, that was the one main thing. This thing. This is a near infrared light. lamp that I use. This is the make. Honestly, that thing's amazing. It's not a fan. It's not a fan. It's a near infrared light. So they use them for rehabilitation for like footballers and stuff. If they've hurt the cartilage and stuff. But also, yeah, the back there's a fan. Yeah, but they also increase collagen. Retinol also helps as well, but I've steered clear of having any needles in my face so far. Long may it continue. But yeah, and also I fart a lot. I fart constantly. I don't actually. I burp a lot though. I do burp a lot. So yeah, those are all things that will keep you looking nice and young. And maybe having a cocaine habit as well. I don't know. You'd be very, very skint though. Don't do that. Don't do that. It's just a joke. Oh yeah, I take lots of pre and pro biotics as well. Amber deflate. Thank you, Richie. Unless it's a front fart. What's a front fart? Can you just explain to us what a front fart is, please? What were you on about? Fanny fart vag. Great. Okay. Queefing. Is it? I remember this girl, right? There was a girl. I'm going to tell you this quickly. Oh, this is going on YouTube, but fuck it. I'm demonetized anyway. There was this girl at this after party, right? And she said that she could do this thing called queefing. And she did, but she got really embarrassed. Yeah, she got really embarrassed. But so she still did it, but she went behind the sofa. And then because she said, I can suck air into my vagina and then like you know, I can burp on, like, if you ask me to burp, I'll be able to burp. Like, just like that. She could do that with her fanny, and she did, but she kept doing it. She was like, and she could just do it over and again. I don't, like, everyone was on drugs. Like, it's not the normal thing that you would do, would it? Is it at a party? I don't know, but yeah, she should be on Britain's Got Talent. But yeah, strange. I wonder what she's doing now. She's probably doing OnlyFans. OnlyFannies. Yep. I wonder who it was. It's quite a skill though, isn't it? Amazing. Okay, I'll do my party trick. This is my party trick. Are you ready? There you go. Hi, Mick. I know. It's great, isn't it? Ta-da! Okay, who's next? I know, it came off, but then I put it back on again. Next up we have got Ant R, and this is La Fiesta.
La Fiesta. Să disfrutăm. La fiesta. La fiesta. La fiesta. La fiesta. La fiesta. La fiesta.
There we go. And La Fiesta. Mate, again, I am so impressed with you. Oh, I really, really like it. I think I've got one of yours, like, on my label, haven't I? To be released. And I would like to put this out there and release this one as well, if it hasn't already been picked up, because I really like this. This is something that I would play in one of my groovy hard house sets. And I do really like it. I love the simplicity of it, and I love the rolling bass line, the moving bass line. Yeah, I think it's great. I'm scared now if Amber plays my track, you lot will rip it apart. Oh, well, don't do it then. Don't do it then. If that's what you think we'll do, definitely don't do it. We're known for it, aren't we? Ripping everyone's music apart. You'll be fine. Just get your tune in. It's one thing we don't do here. We don't rip apart people's music. So I'm assuming that you're new if you think that. We'd never do that. I think you might be new, actually. That would make more sense. Let's have a look. Yes, you are new. Okay, cool. So I'll let you. I'll stop messing around then if you're new. No, that doesn't happen, darling. We would never, ever, ever do that. It's a very safe place to be sending your music in. And of course, if your music isn't ready to be heard yet, I would definitely give you some advice via email anyway. So yeah, you don't need to worry about that. It would never rip apart. I would never allow that to happen at all. It's either constructive criticism or nothing. People have been banned for saying very little, but I'm very protective over what is said in here. And everyone, no, it's not toxic positivity, but what it is we will say stuff that is constructive and helpful, not like, oh, it's fucking shit. And if anyone ever did do that, it wouldn't matter like who it was, they would just get banned straight away. So I will not have that, because it's a very vulnerable thing to do. Yeah, it's a very vulnerable place to be sending your music in. So absolutely send it in, mate. You're in safe hands here, so don't worry. Do not worry about that. Marky G's very busy at the moment. We're doing a gig together. We're doing a back-to-back next week, I think. Or is it this weekend? He started asking me to go back-to-back with him at gigs, which I was like, what? Actual Marky G wants to go back-to-back with me. And we've started doing it now as like a thing. When is it? It's the 12th of October. If you're in Stoke-on-Trent, you come and see me and Marky G back-to-back. It's our second back-to-back set. We did one in Rejuvenation. He just rang me up randomly one day. I think it was just before COVID, years ago. And he was like, I've been watching you for a while. I really, really like what you're doing. And I like your energy. I like who you are and what you represent to, forward facing to people. And I would like to start supporting you by going back to back with you. And I was like, wow. And it was at a time when I kind of needed that. I was like, I felt quite disillusioned and, like I didn't have a place in my industry at that time. I was just doing my own thing, starting to do my live streams and stuff. And it was really nice. Like someone of that level was like, I've been watching you for a while. So it's a good lesson for everyone. Like always put your best foot forward online. Always strive to do your best. And be yourself. Like please be yourself, because if you be yourself you will attract the right people to you, and they will be watching what you do, and they will, even if they're not like making you aware that they're watching you, they absolutely will. And you'll always find your people if you just be yourself, always. So yeah, it was really cool. Hi genre fluid matrid, how you doing? He is. He's wonderful. We have so much in common though, me and Mark. We are very similar. Like we are seen to be mental, especially like when we're behind the decks, but then when we're not and we're just being us, we're just normal. Like very not very, very quiet, but pretty, just like introvert, but in a good way. Yeah. Exactly, Jamie. Exactly. Authentic vibes will attract the same. Because if you just try and pretend to be something else, you'll just get so bored with it so quickly. And you won't be able to keep it up. Not forever. Like, this is what it's like all the time. I'm always like this. I'd like to think that you guys are always being yourselves as well. But you've got to, please believe in yourself and your sound and where you're going with things. And who knows, someone might ring you up one day and say, hey, do you want to start going back to back? Or do you want to collab? It will happen. It happens all the time. Happens all the time. Don't mean this rudely. It's pronounced maitre d. Oh, maitre d. Sorry. No, you're not being rude. I'm being rude because I'm not saying it properly. Maitre d. Got it. Genre fluid maitre d. Got it. Listen, I always get it wrong. I always get people's names. I'm very dyslexic. Not very, slightly, but it feels like a lot. Hi, Twiddle. Yeah, and I don't know if you said, saw what I said. I'm dyspraxic too, and I have dyscalculia apparently. Jamie, don't be scared about going back to back with someone. You just go and do it. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. But oh yeah, also if anyone wants to join my how to DJ tutorials group, please do. I'll put the details in the chat there. Just send me a message. It's £40 to join for life. It's not like a membership, or it's not a subscription. It's just one fee of £40. There's 34 tutorials to go in there, and we are running a student showcase project at the moment as well, where you can win some awesome prizes. Come to this studio and do a mix with the rest of the group, or you can win a radio show guest mix as well. And of course my DJ raffle, where you can win a 3-hour DJ session with me. Those tickets are £1 each. details are in the chat now. Go and get yourself a ticket for that too. Amber, I had no idea you had that. I could never tell. I think my symptoms are quite... See, now that I'm thinking about it, like, I can't think of the word. But if I'm in flow state, I'm fine. But if I think about having dyscalculia or dyspraxia or dyslexia, then it brings on the symptoms a little bit worse. But I kind of mask it quite well. And I really enjoy English. I do enjoy some aspects of maths. I'm fine if I just focus enough. And then I have an ADHD as well. But yeah, I don't want it to become a thing. Like I don't think it's helpful for any of us to say, oh well, I can't do X because I've got Y. I don't think it works like that. I think what you should do is work with whatever you've got. So my dyslexia, your dyslexia doesn't mean you can't do stuff. It means that you will connect things differently. So you'll connect two seemingly non-related things, juxtapose them to create something new, and that's you being creative. So we're taught at school that dyslexia is something that's a bad thing, or it's a learning disability, but really what it is a different way of thinking. That's what it is. So it's a I don't want to say good or bad. Nothing's really, well, some things are good and bad, but it can be something that can be a kind of a superpower if you want to have the right mindset to it. If you want to just say, oh well, I can't do it because I'm so ADHD, I can't be bothered, is what you're basically saying. You can do it. You can try. You think maybe all disability is a form of autism? Maybe. ADHD definitely is, isn't it? We need autistic people. We need people that think differently. You don't want too many people who think in one way at all. But this world is not meant... Now that's a dangerous thing to say. This world isn't really designed for people who are neuroatypical. However, I think we're starting to realise that we need the neuroatypicals a lot more than we thought we needed them before. That makes, yeah. I think it's really important to... Do you remember when, like, in the 80s and the 90s, I remember we was just out of putting kids in a corner and sticking a dunce cap on them in the 80s. We weren't that far from that point. My brother got told to sit on his hands because he fidgeted all the time. Do you know what ended up? Do you know how he ended up? My brother is so fucking clever, right? He ended up being expelled from 4 schools. And it ended up with him telling a teacher to fuck off, and he threw a chair out of a window. Do you know why? Not because he was a disruptive, terrible, evil child like he was told. It was because he wasn't heard. He was just being made out to be a complete waste of space. My mum actually sent him off for Mensa testing to go and check because he was so fucking clever. But the thing is, those schools aren't and were not ever designed for people who think differently. And it's duh. It's so painfully obvious. But my point is, I think this day and age now, we're getting these names for things. And I would like to use the term ADHD loosely, but I think it's an important step in the right direction. And the more that we can be creative, artistic, and express ourselves in healthy ways, and people who aren't tolerant of it, who also probably have a lot of neuroatypical symptoms but aren't willing to look at themselves in that way, I think what happens is they will stop seeing us as being ill-intentioned pieces of shit that don't live in the real world. And that's an exact thing that I have been told by my peers in the past. Oh, if you know, you know. Because, yeah, that's all that's needed is a little bit of tolerance and understanding. Because mainly for us as well, because we're the ones that have to fucking be ourselves. We're the ones that need to deal with our apparent lack of being able to be a proper functioning adult. It's wasted potential. Could do better if they just applied themselves, all of that stuff. But yeah, I think everything happens for a reason. And the more that we have these conversations with each other, the better. I think just knowing that you're not alone in this is the main thing. So tolerance, understanding and listening. Yeah, good talk. Next up, we have got... Oh, yeah, and if you heard what I said, I wouldn't mind putting this on the release. And if you want to do that, please send me an email. Justin Dolan is next. And this is Everybody in the Place. Yeah, I love this one, Justin. Thank you for sending it in. Really, really cool. We've got a donk in there, and then we've also, got those old school vibes, the breaks, really nice switch ups, very well balanced, a really, really, really cool tune. I loved it. And guys, can you please do me a solid and go and follow Justin over on SoundCloud? There we go. Yeah, mate, I loved it. Yeah, Ben liked the gated siren on it. Yeah, I loved everything about that. Just pure energy. So, Genre Food Maitre D says, what is meant by demos? Like original songs, original mixes, or just mixes in general? So it's just songs that people have made. So if you are a music producer and you've made an original track, or it might be a remix, as long as you've done it in a DAW and it's all your own work, that will class as being a demo for the demo drop. So all the details are there. And then basically what this show does is we listen to your music and we help you with any aspects of the production that you might need some help with. We make sure we go and follow your music on SoundCloud or whatever. So you did some raps. Cool. That's awesome. That is awesome. Yeah, there's no real, like, I guess we've got more dance orientated music on here naturally because of me being a dance DJ, and my fan base will naturally be hard dance or dance music in general. But we've had all kinds of music on here: Creole, rap, even like film scorey type stuff. Bye Martin, love you. All kinds of things. But yeah, it just needs to be your own work. That's all. Yeah, I actually wanted to use the term genre fluid a long time ago, and I'm glad someone else is using that, because do you know the reason why I didn't do it in the end was I was so worried that I would get shit for being transphobic or something daft like that. But I think my strapline that I wanted to put was, did you just assume my genre? That's what I wanted to put, is like my strapline. Did you just assume my genre? But I knew what would fucking happen. I knew what would happen. It would just be like, oh, I'd have to just fucking explain myself continuously. So I didn't bother doing it. Yeah, I had a feeling that you were trans, so you'd be fine. You're allowed to. It's okay if you say it. I know, this is the problem. So as soon as I go and say something like that, people would just jump down my neck. So I didn't bother, but I am so happy that someone's using that, because that's really cool. It's really cool. I don't think parents are heavily against it. I think it depends on the parents, really. You know, it's not something that's ever been an issue in our household or anything. I think education is just the important thing. Oh, your parents. Yeah, the thing is with parents are always doing stuff with their own best intentions, what they believe to be their best intentions. But, you know, when people know better, they can do better. It all depends on the parents. And I'm really happy to see, like, I've got 2 kids now. My kids are 13. I have twins. And I definitely see, and you'll know this, but if you look at what the gap was, the generational gap between you and, let's say, your grandparents. What do you think when you think about your grandparents? You think, wow, they're so old and they've got very different views to me. And then you look at the generational gap between you and your parents. And so your parents might have, like, maybe tried using computers, might even be quite computer literate, but there'll definitely be less of a generational gap between you and your grandparents to you and your parents. And now as a parent myself, I look at the generational gap between myself and my kids. And that gap is much shorter, much smaller. Like, I can definitely see things from my children's perspective a lot more than my parents could see mine. And certainly my grandparents would be able to see mine. And that's where I see, you know, things are being exponentially moving forward. And we know this through technology. Technology is racing forward. Everything is kind of like getting quicker and quicker and quicker. And that's why I don't think that we will have an issue moving forward with things like empathy and understanding and relating to younger people. I really don't. I think that it's naturally that gap's closing more and more and more. So I think it can be a cultural thing as well, an educational thing definitely. But remember, our parents didn't really have the tools to equip themselves, because going back to the ADHD thing, they didn't have words for it. They were called dunces. Life was a lot harder. We have a lot more time now to sit and think. We have a lot of time to think about thinking. We get a lot more time to do the things we want to do, you know. And with that, that's how we can, you know, empathize and see things from a better perspective, or a more wider perspective. They didn't get that. They didn't have that luxury. So yeah, I think it's interesting. I think it's a good thing. I really do. I don't think it's something that we need to worry about. Yeah, Jamie. We also know more than our parents because information is more available. And we also have the articulation. You remember, like, as a kid, I had corporal punishment as a kid, right? I was hit with a belt by my stepdad and a slipper. And he was an alcoholic. Terrible. Really, really bad. Beat my mum up. I wonder if he's dead yet. I don't know. Sorry. But he was, yeah, well, I'm like, it was the 80s, it was the 90s. It was very, very, very common. Very, very common. But if you think about it, the reason why they were like that, and the reason why we got told kids should be seen and not heard, was because they didn't have the articulation. They didn't have the words to know how to express themselves. And one thing about parenting that we do in this house, we do a lot of conscious parenting. And what that means is a lot of sitting down talking, a lot of it. And we talk through things with the kids. We've never ever had to hit them to get them to do things. We very rarely have to shout at them. But they fucking hate it because we sit there and we'll talk it out. I think sometimes I'd much rather us shout at them. Because they're like, oh God, we're going to have a lecture again. I'm like, yeah, but we need to sit and discuss this. This is why this is happening to you. This is why this privilege has now been taken away from you, because you've shown us that you can't be responsible yet to have that. And they're like, ah! But like, it makes me smile because I look back just one generation ago, my generation, and I was being hit with a buckle on a belt for putting 50 pence in an arcade machine that I didn't realise wasn't switched on, and I got the shit kicked out of me for that. And that is why these generational things are so important, because you heal that, and that is progress. And that's just in one generation. So I honestly do think that the future is going to be much better because we can articulate how we feel. That was the problem with it, is they just didn't know how to say it. And if they don't, you know what it's like if you can't say what you want to say, if you can't use your words, you'll get angry and you will get violent. So I do think a lot of it was to do with that. But yeah, Yeah, it's crazy. But I think it will be fine in the future. So yeah, good talk. Yay. Chuki says, do you use special product for your face? Yes, I use snail cum. Next tune is... Who we got next? Was Not Was, and this is Feel My Dawn. go. Was Not Was, Feel My Dawn. Yeah, I really like it. I think it's a very solid hard house tune. Remix. Yeah, I liked it. I liked it a lot. I didn't hear anything that was particularly sticking out as being out of key though. Apart from maybe the vocal. Don't go away. It was ever so slightly just needed a little bit of tuning, but it's still not something that needed to be messed around with. If you don't know what you're doing with it, or if you don't have Melodyne, or I honestly think even if you just got the whole sample and you just like pitched it maybe like 10 cents, 20 cents, not even that, I think it would just slot it in a bit nicely. It just landed a little bit flat for me, but I am a bit of a nerd when it comes to, not nerd, what's the word? I'm very anal when it comes to getting stuff in a completely perfect pitch because of my classical training, I guess. But I'm completely splitting hairs there. I really liked it. I thought it sounded very well balanced. Maybe a touch over limited because it's very, 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 very not completely brick walled, but it's hard limited. But it didn't sound. It sounded like it could take it because it's this style of music where, you know, it's not a massive issue about dynamics, but I don't know. Maybe bring it back a touch, but it does make it louder. I get that. But yeah, I liked it. I thought it was a really good tune. So yeah, thank you. Was Not Was for sending that in. And that was his first one that he sent in as well. Like, if that was one of my first tunes, I'd be so happy. That's a really, really, really good tune. I really liked it. Very good take on the original. Next up, we've got DJ Richie. DJ Richie in the house, mother lickers. And this is DJ Richie and Romy. And this is Life is Short. Oh, I remember the write-up for this. So DJ Richie, this is to do with finding out that DJ Richie is ADHD. And also in memory of his sister, which I thought was really, really sweet. So yeah, this is DJ Richie and Romy. Life is Short. I wasn't expecting it to finish then. I was enjoying it so much. Richie, I just want to say well done for writing a tune, especially, you know, with the sentiment behind it. I know you said in your email that you'd lost your sister and you've been recently diagnosed with ADHD. And something that we always mention on this show is how transformative making music can be, and how it can really help us to process difficult times in our lives, difficult situations, navigate difficult emotions, and you're doing it all in a very healthy way when you do it through any art form. And yeah, I just want to say that I'm so proud of you, because it is difficult. And your sister would be so proud of you. I'm definitely proud of you. I think it's awesome. Really, really nice title. And really nice vocal in there. So, grief plus ADHD plus alcohol has made me obsessed with production again. Cool. Just hold back on the alcohol. And I know, minus alcohol. Oh, okay. I was going to say, woo! And I'm fine now. Oh, mate, I laugh because I know what it's like. I remember when I lost my mum. I was 17 when my mum passed. And it took me 13 years to even have a photo of her in my house. It took me a long time to get over it. But one of the things I used to do was drink a lot of red wine and cry, because it was the only time when I felt like I could access those emotions, was when I was absolutely pissed out of my head. But it doesn't work. It doesn't work. You have to do it sober. You have to go in cold turkey in order to really get to the depths and process those, awkward or difficult emotions. And I'm really proud of you for taking the alcohol away from your situation. Yeah, it's not sustainable. You're fine in any for anyone that's ever, unless you're in abstinence-based recovery, of course. It's okay to disassociate for a bit. It's okay. But always remember to put a TBC on it. Mark it as I will need to go and sort this out one day. Unfortunately, a lot of us can get lost in it and continue to disassociate and then forget that you haven't processed this stuff. I know that was definitely true for me. And then it all kind of builds up, and it comes out in a myriad of different ways. And so one of the ways that we can prevent that is by siphoning off our grief in productive ways. Another really great way I found was through poetry. Me and my husband, both of us would write a lot of poetry. When my husband went through being sectioned, he also wrote a lot of poetry, and then that turned into rap, and then he started recording a bit of rap music. Even though he's a hard trance producer, he did something that was outside of his comfort zone. He's very monotone. For those of you who don't know my other half, Guy, he's not very expressive in terms of a performer, but he's very, very expressive in terms of his music. So a lot of his issue was down to suppressed emotion and suppressed expression. Well, not expressing his emotion. And then he met me. And then he learned how to express himself and say how he really felt, IRL. So, and it's going back to this, it's very important to express ourselves in healthy ways. What's her king? What's that? And I think with you, Richie, you definitely feel better. I'm sure you do feel you're his queen. Oh, thank you. I like to think so. So yeah, Richie, you've done a great job here. In terms of technical stuff, I'd say you could definitely do with a new mix down of this. Yeah, he's ace, isn't he? I think it would be, I think there could be a little bit more. Yeah, I was just about to say that, excuse, a more low end. I think that there was a bit of percussion that was a little bit too loud in there. It's all a really easy fix. I would just go back in. I think you have said no bass on all my submissions. So once there's no bass, I just think that the bass could definitely, I blame you. That's my next question was, how are you producing this? You're doing it in headphones. So I would look at what the frequency response is of your headphones, and then check in AirPods. You're doing it in AirPods. Wow. If you can do this in AirPods, then imagine what you're going to be doing, how you're going to be sounding once you get some decent headphones. If you need to do this in headphones, I recommend that you get something like Ultrasone are the ones that I've got. 20 years of EQing the snare, I know, right? Mate, if this is done in AirPods, you're doing really well. They're not designed for making music. Honestly, at this point, in order for you to progress to the next level, which you are there at, your arrangement's great. You stylistically, your sound choices are fantastic. You just need to balance those sounds now. And that won't happen until you get yourself a good pair of headphones. So someone said HD25s. Try a few, see what you like. But I think at this point, any decent wired headphones, producer headphones, is going to be a massive step in the right direction. Hi, Pete Maxwell. Hello. We listened to yours. We really liked it. I know, but they are so easy for Apple stuff. Okay, any excuse. Carry on making those excuses if you want, but your work will suffer for it. But I think you're ready to move on to the next stage now. So I'm not sure, but I would like to hope that Apple allow you to have some kind of wired headphones. Any excuse to buy new headphones? Yeah, well, good. Do it. Nuance doesn't really work on chat. Yeah. It can get lost a little bit, can't it? Brilliant. Yeah, well, definitely do that and then do another mix down of it because I think it's nearly there. But yeah, really, really nice song and a great sentiment around it as well. So thank you for sending it in. Next, we've got DJ McDJ Face. I think this was a take on a classical piece of music. I can't remember which one now. So here we go. This is Passacaglia. There we go. Passacaglia by DJ McDJ Face. I really like this. Classical and trance just go so well together. So this is a take on the main theme from Bach's C minor Passacaglia BWV 582. Apparently. What a cool track. Yeah, I really liked it. The only things that I would say would be things that I know are subjective things. And that would literally, I think the only thing that I personally would change out, or two things, would be the kick and the snare. I would want to change that snare to just be a shorter clap. And I'd probably have a more snappy kick. But I know that that's just my personal preference. So yeah, I am really, really, really surprised and amazed that this sounds so good from something that's like a really old classical tune, which it makes sense because it's trance, and trance is melody based. So there we go. I'm going to start looking through all my old classical music MIDI packs now. But yeah, that's it's awesome. So yeah, well done, Alistair. Well done, DJ McDJ Face. Very, very proud of you. What a cool tune. And make sure you go and follow him, please, gang. I'll put the link in the chat now. And thank you all for being here. That is our show. We've done a lot tonight. I wanted to do a slightly longer show because of not being here last week. So yeah, I just wanted to do a longer one today. So it's time for me to go to bed. I'm so tired. So tired. But yeah, thank you everybody. I'm going to send this all over to DJ Wheels. DJ Wheels from the US. Another DJ Wheels. I know two DJ Wheels. Thank you, everybody. What kind of PC do I use? This PC, which is a Ryzen 7. GPU is a RTX 2070 Super. 32 gig of RAM. Yeah. And then I've got a Focusrite 4 in, 4 out. Thank you, everybody. I love you, and I'll see you probably on Friday. Maybe Thursday. I don't know yet. And see if I miss you enough. Love you guys. Thank you. Bye.